What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Restoration Rundown Podcast, the podcast that's dedicated to you, the restoration business owner. Super excited about today because I get to answer a question that a lot of guys out there in your industry are struggling with. My name is Ben, your host, and I'm the CEO of Ironclad Restoration Marketing, and I help restoration business owners get more sales just by getting their internet marketing right. So today, like I mentioned, we are going to be talking about blogging for your restoration business, but more specifically, how to choose the right blog topics or topics at all to help you get ranked on search engines, which should help lead to get you more calls for property damage restoration. So a lot of guys out there have an in-house team. A lot of guys are doing stuff on their own, which is awesome. That's why we do what we do, to teach you guys how to do it. But one thing that a lot of people struggle with is choosing blog topics. Blogging is a fundamental part of SEO. It's something you have to be doing. If you are using an outside agency and they aren't adding a blog at least once a month, and you need to revisit what exactly they are doing, because that's like Burger King without the Whopper. You got to be blogging. Blog is a great way to help you rank for long tail keywords. Blogging is an easy way to add fresh content to your website that's value-based or brand-based that Google can recognize and help climb you up into rankings and grow your keyword portfolio. So if you are not blogging on a monthly basis, if you have an in-house team, you got to start doing it. If you have an agency and they're not blogging, you better talk to them because they need to be blogging. So anyways, one thing that people struggle with is choosing the right kind of topic. And I get it. You want to make sure that if you're going to spend the time and you're going to put the work in and you're going to put this content on your website, you need to get something out of it, right? So I'm going to show you an easy way to put together blog topics for your company that can last you a year. And it's only going to take a couple seconds to show you 30 pieces of content that you can add. So there should be no excuses after you listen to this or watch this on YouTube as to why you can't choose blog topics unless you've already exhausted all these avenues. And then you have to have a little bit deeper of a conversation. Then there's always time to go syndicate and optimize the content that you've had from before. All right. So what I want you to do is, if you're just listening in on the podcast on one of the streaming services, great. Just listen and try this later. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of a screen share here. So what I did is I pre-cooked this like Rachel Ray. I went ahead and typed in water damage restoration, okay, in a Google search. Just water damage restoration, which is a core service that the majority of you guys offer. Maybe if you guys are indoor air quality guys or mold removal, this will still ring true, but let's just pick water damage restoration. The bigger idea of this is just choosing your core service. Okay. So whatever that service may be, we chose water damage restoration. What you're going to see is the ads results come up, right? It took half a second to produce 994 million results. Right below that is your map section. That's your local search. That's all relative to your Google business profile. And we will talk about this as part of this video, but under that, you're going to see an area that says people also ask. Now, all four of these, usually they give you 3 or 4. All 4 of these things are perfect candidates for a blog topic for your business. Okay. So if you're looking for blog topics, type in one of your core services and go to the people also ask section. What they're showing me, if you're just listening into here, is I'm looking at 4 things that people search for that are relative to that keyword. 1, how do you restore water damage? 2, how long does it take to dry out water damage? 3, how does the water damage restoration process work? And 4, what do water restoration companies do? All 4 of those topics are perfect to be adding to your website, right? You got to remember the rule of thumb. You got to have at least 500 words of content, has to be keyword rich. But what Google's new algorithm and what their AI is looking for is authenticity and quality of content. You are the water damage restoration expert. So the content that you need to be putting out there should be personable. And you remember, you're writing to somebody to teach a layman about whatever question they may have when it comes to your business. So ranking for something like, how do you restore water damage? While that's not your core keyword, that's a very specific thing to rank for, long tail keyword. And you want to have that type of content on your website, right? 500 words of content. So wouldn't it be great if somebody clicked on that carrot and your company was in here ranking on that in your local area? I mean, how much authority does that build, not only in your target clients' eyes, but also in Google? So There's four, well, now that I clicked it, there's 6. So there's 6 blog topics that can last you 6 months, right? You don't need to be really blogging more than 1 or 2 times a month. If you have a brand new website that you're throwing up, yeah, it makes sense. Throw a couple blogs that are relative to each one of your services on the site. Make sure they're optimized. That'll just give you a little bit of a leg up. But moving forward, really only need a blog 1 time a month. And you always have the capability of going back and editing those blogs, adding content, freshening them up. If something's changed or you think of a new idea, go freshen that content up and resubmit that URL. Google will recrawl your page and you might move up even higher in the rankings, okay? So we showed you the people also ask section, which is right under, sometimes it's above the maps, but it's right around the map section. Can't miss it. It's huge. And then under the organic section and under the footer ads in the footer, you have something called related searches. Now, these searches are another 8 types of searches that are relative to that core keyword that you can click on, and it will populate a whole new list of questions that all can be great candidates for your blog. All very specific, value-based types of content. How do you restore it? What do you do if you find water damage and all that stuff? And we did the same thing with mold. We pre-cooked it Rachel Ray style. We're opening up the oven after we put all the ingredients together. Save you a little time here, but we typed in mold damage remediation. That's it. And we came up with 4 other blog topic ideas that are relative to mold damage remediation. Okay, so same thing in the footer. You have the same thing, relative topics that you can search for. So if you just click what is involved with mold damage remediation, boom, you've got another 3 questions that you can answer here and click. And then you're also giving Google more of a leg up of what you're actually trying to look for as a searcher. So if you are looking for blog topic ideas, I just showed you a way. I just showed you close to 30 different blog topics in like however long minutes with explaining. So there is no excuses why you can't find great blog topics for your business. So I'm going to give you a little hack when it comes to blogs. So we always are all about omnipresent, right? We preach the ironclad digital omnipresence method, which is having your business visible in as many online channels as possible. Well, we also have to treat your content in the same way, right? So a great thing to do with your blog, yes, if you're throwing it up on the website and it's properly optimized, awesome. You get a gold star. But if you want to kick it up a notch, like Emerald, and I know I'm doing a lot of food related topics. I don't know, I must be hungry. But if you want to kick it up a notch and superpower that content, what you need to be doing is you need to be syndicating that blog. All right. In a couple ways, what I mean by syndicating is you want to use that one piece of content in a ton of different areas, because why not, right? If you're going to go through the time to research, to write, to post, to optimize, why not get the most out of it that you possibly can? So one of the easy ways to syndicate this stuff, what we do here is utilizing it in your Google business profile posting. And then also just sharing it on your social media, right? So when you're putting your blog on your website, you should have internal and external links, right? That's if you've listened to other episodes of how to set yourself up, or if you've bought my book, we talk a lot about that. Internal, external links are great. It helps Google kind of crawl your website the right way and make sure that you're indexing properly. So if you put up a blog that is, what do I do if I find mold in my house? And inside that blog, you're linking to your mold damage service page that you should have on your website. You're linking to your contact page. You're linking to your Facebook page. You're linking to other blogs that are relative to that. You are killing it, right? You are giving Google the perfect map of where this content is and how it's supposed to be structured and where you're supposed to be ranked. Now, if you could take that same kind of idea in the syndication process and utilize Google Business Profile's posting capability, which you should be doing, you can now take that piece of content, post it up on your Google Business Profile under Learn More, link from that Google Business post to your mold remediation service page on your website, and then back to the Google page, and then take that same piece of content and throw it on Facebook and throw it on Instagram and create all these links. You are being omnipresent. That one piece of content is going into 20 different channels and just has that much more opportunity to be seen by your target client. And not only that, but you're also building authority and you're supercharging that content. And another way, if you want to kick it up an even higher notch, pull out your phone and make a video talking about that giving people advice. Hey, this is Joe from Joe's Restoration, and today we're going to talk about what do you do if you find mold in your home or business, and you just run them through a quick video, upload that to YouTube, take that YouTube video, embed it into the blog that you should have from this topic. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better strategy for authority building, for link building, and for getting your website ranked. All right. That's it. It's really that simple. Go into Google, type in your core search, your core service, look into people also ask section. You've got 4 to 20 to 50 to an infinite amount of blog topics. And again, to recap, outside of just having the basics on your site. So if you're building a new site, throw up 2 blogs for each one of your services that are relative just to give you a little leg up. But if you already have an in-house team, blog 1 time a month. Okay. We used to blog 4, 5, 2, but we found that, you were doing a lot of work and it wasn't really changing the results. So 1 time is great if you do it properly. 2 times is fine. If you want to add more content there, split it up, maybe the beginning of the month, end of month. That's totally up to you and what your resources and capabilities are. But if you want to rank on Google, you should be blogging at least 1 time a month. And then syndicate that content. Let's get the most out of it. It's hard enough. If you're struggling already with this stuff, it's hard enough just to do it, but let's get the most out of it that we possibly can. If you have any questions about choosing blog topics, if you have any questions about how to post them or omnipresent, drop us a question, send us a DM, leave us a review on one of the streaming services or on YouTube. I promise you I check this stuff and it'll help me come up with topics for episodes that'll directly address the things that you're struggling with. On top of that, if you haven't been paying attention, we recently posted on Instagram on Ironclad Restoration Marketing that we are going to be doing an AMA episode, which means Ask Me Anything. And when I mean anything related to marketing your restoration business, things you've been struggling with. We're going to be doing live video analyses. So if you want to be considered a candidate for an analysis, we'll show you an over-the-shoulder analysis of your site, your Google business profile, tell you everything you're doing right, everything you're doing wrong, which may answer all of your questions. So to get your question answered, send us a DM, leave us a review with your question, and we're going to be gathering all this information over the next week or so we can launch this episode that's going to be dedicated even more so to you, specifically about what you've been struggling with. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Follow us on all the different social media channels, streaming services, YouTube. Get your questions in so I can start building this episode and really help you guys get 2022 back on the rails and get you guys the leads that you need to be getting for your business so you can grow it properly. Anyways, that's enough for today. We will talk to you soon. I'm looking forward to seeing your questions. Don't forget to get them in to me. We'll talk to you soon.